Picture this: you've spent years exploring that quiet stretch of forest near your town, the one with the hidden waterfall, the perfect picnic spot, the trail where your dog always loses his mind chasing squirrels. Now imagine showing up one day to find a "sold" sign and a bulldozer parked where the trailhead used to be. That's not dystopian fiction. It's a real possibility under the latest political schemes to sell off America's public lands, and it's happening faster than you think. Right now, Congress is quietly stuffing a massive tax bill with provisions that could hand over millions of acres of public land to oil companies, mining giants, and even luxury housing developers. The pitch? It'll boost the economy, lower gas prices, and solve the housing crisis. The reality? It's a corporate fire sale disguised as policy, and regular folks, hikers, hunters, campers, and anyone who enjoys not paying a toll to see a tree, are about to get screwed. Let's start with the numbers, because they're staggering. One proposal would open up 293 million acres of public land and water to oil drilling, an area bigger than Texas and California combined. That's not just some remote patch of Alaska. It includes national parks, wildlife refuges, and even sacred indigenous sites. And here's the kicker: the government wouldn't even have the power to say no if an oil company wants to lease it. No environmental reviews, no public input, just a rubber stamp and a "drill, baby, drill" attitude. But wait, it gets better. Some politicians are now claiming that selling public land will fix the housing crisis. Sure, because nothing says affordable starter home like a McMansion perched on what used to be a protected wildlife habitat 50 miles from the nearest grocery store. The truth? Less than 1% of federal land is actually near cities where housing is needed. The rest is either pristine wilderness or, let's be honest, places where nobody wants to live unless they're being paid to frack there. Of course, there's always a catch. The same lawmakers pushing these sales are also slashing royalty rates for oil and gas companies, meaning taxpayers get even less money from the deals. One estimate says we'd lose $300 million a year in revenue, money that usually funds schools, roads, and conservation. So not only do we lose the land, we pay for the privilege. Then there's the hypocrisy. Some Republicans are loudly opposing the sales, which is unexpected. Even former Interior Secretary Ryan Zinke, hardly a tree hugger, says selling public land is a "no forever" for him. Why? Because his constituents in Montana love their public lands. It turns out, so do most Americans. 72% of Westerners, including Republicans, want conservation prioritized over development. But in Washington, the lobbyists writing the checks seem to have louder voices than the voters. The most absurd part? These sales might not even work. The last big lease sale in the Arctic refuge got 0 bids. Coal leasing has been a money loser for years. And the housing crisis argument falls apart when you realize most of these lands are miles from jobs, schools, or running water. But hey, why let facts get in the way of a good old-fashioned land grab? So what does this mean for you? If you've ever enjoyed a national park, a fishing spot, or just the idea that some places shouldn't be paved over for profit, pay attention. These decisions are being made in late-night committee meetings, buried in 1,000-page bills, and sold to the highest bidder. The good news? Public outrage works. The last time politicians tried this, a backlash from hunters, hikers, and normal people who like breathing clean air forced them to back off. Here's your call to action: next time you're out on public land, take a picture. Post it. Tag your representatives. Remind them who those lands really belong to. And if you hear someone say, "We need to sell it for the economy," ask them, what's the economy for, if not to keep the places we love? Now go outside before someone puts a condo there.